came to Britain just early in the 90s, but it was after my relationships. In Africa, we believe in marriage and they pay something what they call dowry. You have to pay some money when you're getting married to somebody. And where I come from, where I was born, there was war in the early 70s. So during that war, we were abused by the soldiers.
Wow.
So I was just a teenager, I was still very young in my teens. So what happened is I got married after that, after the war, when everybody has come back home from the bush, wherever they were fighting from. But we've been already abused.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more used to do things my own way rather than listening to the parents because I was already something else. I wasn't a child anymore. So what happened is I got married whilst I was very young. I got married at 20. So once you get married, the in-laws and everybody else is expecting you to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they call marriage in Africa. When you are married, you really need to produce babies so that people feel you are married. So that's what happened. Immediately I got married, he was one of the people who had just come out of the war who got married to me. To me, that was love because that was my first love. I could feel that I was in love. I got married and I got a baby out of this marriage. He was in the army still after the war. So what happened is after just a year, 2 years into the marriage, when I had my child at 21. He died. He had a car accident.
Wow.
That was the love of my life. And I just lost him like that. I was still 22. Right, I'm thinking again, I've gone back to my parents because when you get married, you have to move to the man's house. So I'm now alone again. I decided to move back to my parents. Once I moved there, already there is the negativity within the community. They look at you like there is something wrong with her. She is grown. When I'm 24, everybody is expecting me to get married again or to do something better for myself. And the only way I knew to do something better was those aunties telling you, when are you getting married? So I thought, okay, fine. When I get married again, I'll be happy and, I won't think about my past marriage. So what happened is I got married again. I was working. I was now a secretary to the council. So I got married to this man. He was a teacher. But as you can remember, I just lost another husband within a period of 2 years and I got married again in the next 2-3 years. I haven't settled enough in my mind and I'm still mourning my husband inside me. But people don't believe that, I'm still thinking about it. Just because everybody else is looking at me in a negative way and I felt like honestly I need to do the right thing because I'm the firstborn in the family and everybody's looking at me like I should do the right thing. So I felt like this is the time, but inwardly it's still not safe for me to do that. Well, I got married. I thought we are in love. And honestly, to be honest with you, for the first year, I thought I was really in love with this guy. He was somebody who could understand. He was a teacher. So I thought we got everything, what a couple should be. I got married. Then within 2 years, I started seeing the true colors. Because where he was living somewhere else, not within the same city, but he had to move into the city where I was. Then we had to live together now. That's when I realized that this person is a different person. From what I knew, from the time I met him, I thought I've got everything. But then he started just accusing me of overdressing, going out. How are you dressed like that? Remember, you're a married man. And remember, in Africa, they've taken money again. This is the second time I've married. So what they consider too much is that dowry that makes you stationed there. Even if you are The way they say you are married is just paying that dowry. Once they pay that dowry, you're now married. No matter walking to the aisle, I've started seeing walking to the aisle when I come to Britain, where they say somebody is really married, you have to walk the aisle and do that. But from my own culture, you have to pay money to get married, or to pay some cows to the other family, to the bride's family. So what happened now is he's starting to say that, why are you overdressed when you're going to work? What are you doing? You come late, you come early. What are you doing? I don't really understand. And I couldn't understand it myself, because I'm now beginning to compare the husbands. I said, my first husband never used to do this. I never had any, hiding out of my dressing. Why is he telling me what to dress, what to do, and why I should behave in front of people, and why I should do what he wants? So it gets to the point that I can't cope with what is happening. And now I am beginning to refuse sex to him. Now I can't do it because I'm not happy. You're not happy, you can't do it. So he's trying what to do, but I can't do it. I'm just feeling, sick. Yeah. When I look at him, I feel like I don't want to see him again. So he started hitting me. Each time he comes, every evening, he's drunk. He is drunk, he comes home very late. Then you don't ask, but he's hitting you. Then if you refuse sex, he will hit you and he will rape you. It happens, it happens for a long time, because I cannot go back to my aunties and tell them I'm leaving this relationship again. To them, I'm not a good child. And I'm thinking again, I'm the firstborn. How can I say I am divorcing this one for the second time? I'm still in my 20s. So it becomes so difficult to go back and tell somebody what is happening. You keep it to yourself and keep going through it. I went on for about 4 years, being hit and being raped every night. Oh God. So what happens is, at the end, I realized that I'm gonna die if I don't do anything, because it gets to the extent where he brings knife. He just goes to the kitchen, he grabs your throat like this. If you're refusing, then what? What is it that you want? What is it? You're a bitch, you're what? You're doing this, you're dressing for every other man in this city. Then I realized that I cannot cope with this. I had to tell someone, because I couldn't help it anymore. Then when I go to work, I pretend. You pretend when you're in this situation. You pretend. You don't want everybody to know what you're going through. Usually we don't say as women. You just keep it to yourself and say, okay, this is okay. It's all right. What can I do? Anyway, maybe it's going to be over very soon. He's going to stop. You try to negotiate and he tried to tell you that, anyway, it won't happen again. Next time he comes again drunk, he'll still hit you and do whatever he does to you. So when I realized that it's knife time, all the night, it's knife time, he has just to pick a knife and say, I'll kill you. Yeah. Yeah, you remember I married you. You remember I paid money to your parents. You remember you're my wife and you can't keep going to tell people what is happening here. I'll kill you. I have marks all my body because I was being hit every night. Then at the end, I had to tell a friend. When I told my friend, she said, I can't believe this is happening and you've been tolerating this. Then I said to her, you know what? There's no way I can come out and tell people. Then he says, no, I'm going to tell my husband, because my husband is a policeman. I'm going to tell him so that he knows what is happening. And I was afraid that if he tell this husband, he might come and ask him straight away. But they used something and he said, you know what? What we are going to do is, once he's hitting you, just press. He gave me something like a button to press because they lived not far from me. So he's a policeman. He said, press this button when it is happening. It will ring in our house. We will know what is happening. So when it happens that day, I just pressed the button. When I pressed the button, they didn't knock the house. They came and broke the window. Woo! You see, and he was right there with a knife. Wow. He wanted to Yes, so they took him straight away. They say, we know what has been happening. So can you explain to us what has been happening? He refused to explain. He said, there was nothing. This is my wife, and you've got no right to be in the house. And he said, we have every right because this has been happening for a long time. So they took him. That's the time I came out of that relationship. I thought, thank you. I thought it was over. He went to prison, but I'm still 24. Remember, I'm still very young. That's the time I feel I want love. I want to be loved. Then this relationship is over. I had to find a way again to explain to my family what had happened, but they didn't believe me. Nobody will believe you when that is happening. A few people would believe, that is if they were in the same situation, but if not, they won't believe you. So fine, it happened like that. I couldn't tell anyone. I tried to explain to my relatives that this is what happened. He is gone. They didn't believe it again. I waited for another 2 years. I'm now 26, 27. I'm afraid of any man who stopped me. I'm thinking, can I cope with this? Can I do it? Can I not? Lucky enough, I had sent my daughter to a boarding school, so she wasn't seeing what I was going through most of the time. So even my parents, my sisters, they were surprised when I started writing books, and write books about domestic violence. So they didn't understand. They couldn't believe it because they were young. So if I tell them that I was in an abusive relationship, they still say, but we didn't see it. I said, because I didn't explain, because nobody knew what was going on besides me. So what happens after 26, 27, I got married again. The age of getting married and doing the right thing still comes. Then I thought I was doing myself any favor. I wasn't loving myself. I got married again to this one. When I got married, he had his own children. That's the third marriage. He had his own children, 3 children plus mine, 4. But mine was in a boarding school, so mostly I was looking after his children. They were 9, 7, and 5. So I was taking care of these children. But then he had a small business, so he could go out of the city and leave me with the children for 2-3 weeks. He says he was following his transport. But what was he doing? He was going to sleep with other women and bring all the diseases to me. Name it. Name any type of disease you want to name about sexual disease. It was poured on to me. I went to hospital every now and then until the doctors say, you are going to die if you're not careful. Then I realized this is the end of me. I'm not going to live anymore. Then I left this relationship after a friend has told me what was happening, because the girlfriends has got to the extent, because they were also from the army, they were calling me now to call me any sort of name and telling me that they were sleeping with him. They said to me, if you want proof, can you check on him tomorrow when he comes? He's wearing these clothes and he's wearing this type of underwear. And then you will understand that he's coming from my house. And for sure, I did that for some few weeks, noticing that he's coming with different underwears. But the girlfriends will phone me and tell me exactly what he's wearing inside. And that's what he was wearing. So I try to ask him, what is going on? He says nothing. But then, how can you say nothing, yet I'm going to the hospital every day? So that alone, I decided I should end this. But before I end it, he ended it himself. What happened, I went to work the other day. I come back, I find the little thing he bought in the house and my things, everything has been taken away. The house is empty. Okay, fair enough. You are gone. I have to start afresh. This is the 3rd marriage which has failed. So what do I do now? Everything has been taken out of me. I went back to work. A friend told me, do you want to know where he is? I said, I wouldn't care less. I don't want to know where he's gone. At least he's walked out of my life. I'm happy now. So she said, I think you need to know. He was sleeping in the infectious hospital. Yes, he had
a disease.
Yes.
HIV.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I went to see him. There's nothing you can say. It was just after a month he's left my house. Thank you. I went to see him. When I looked at him, he was just a heap of bones in this infectious hospital, covered in a little blanket. Then when I opened, I couldn't believe there was some person sleeping under there. So my friend said, he's still here. I said, no, there's nobody in the bed we are going. He said, he's there. Then we got there, he uncovered the blanket. We saw it was a heap of bones. I couldn't do anything. I looked at him, my tears started rolling. Then I said, can you tell me what you are doing here? He was unable to speak. He couldn't even speak. He said, I don't know. I'm sorry. I said, who are you sorry for? What are you sorry about? Then I realized that this is not good for me anymore. I was in a shock. I was in a shock. I couldn't believe what I've seen. I couldn't believe what I've got. I don't know if I've got it or not. I'm now shaking. I'm now, I felt sick from the time I left that place. Going back home, I said to my friend, I wish I did not come here. But then she said, don't you wish it's better for you to have come here and see it than you staying without knowing your situation? What do you do, ladies, when that happens? What do you do? Because what it is you thought you were trying to do what everybody else is doing. Then you end up looking at this. What happens? I went to the doctors. I went 3-4 times to be checked, and they said, we can't see anything in your blood. Wow. But we still need to treat you. There's a very bad infection inside you. So I had this long treatment, which took me for a long time on medication. That is in the 80s, 89, 86, up to from 89 until up to 90. I was still on that medication when I was in Africa. Then I came here in 1991. When I came, I had this sort of life, a blanket on me. I couldn't believe myself what has went on the past years of my life. And was this a life I could want to lead again? Do I really want to get married? No. What do I want to do for myself? I needed to know Christ first and love myself. I needed to put myself first before anything else. But for me to overcome all this, what I went through, I had to find something I enjoy doing. Like you said, you enjoyed painting. I began to write. I started to write stories. I started to write things about myself. When I came here straight away, I went to Goldsmith University. Then I was educating myself. I started learning and doing things and loving myself more, and realized that there's more to life than to get married, than to follow culture, than to please anyone. I needed to place myself first. So I needed to get that past of me out of the way, but I had to do it through writing. I started writing in 2014, and I was a published author by end of 2014. Woo! That was my first book. Case of blessing, being a spinster. I wasn't a spinster, but it went through. I did, but because I was still coming from Africa, I didn't detail my story in this book. It's not detailed. I'm writing a detailed now because I have free of mind.
Right.
I am free. Right. I am liberated. I know how to look after myself. After that, I wrote this one because I've got my own care company, Challenges of a Living in Care. This is about care. But before then, I did anthology. I've got 2 more books I wrote with others, which is The Depth of Your Soul. The Depth of Your Soul is about a woman relaying a story about your past or what has happened, what is your experience of life. it's within me, so it was the depth of it. So that's when I wrote that. Then the second one I wrote again is anthology. It is called Peace, Perspective of Hope. It's about peace of mind. That was for me. And on top of that, I've started my own talk show, which is Jossine Abraham's talk show. It's about abused women. So, yes, I would love to work with so many women who want to contribute to try and help and empower other women what we are going through and what we have gone through and how we can come out of this and how we can help ourselves. I really feel liberated after I started writing, and I feel so happy about myself. I don't let my life be led by men anymore, because I thought without a man you're not whole. That's what I believed in, because my culture says when you're not married you're not a wholesome person. So I decided to do my own way, my own things, and I'm so happy at the moment that I don't take things for granted, especially when I see a man who is trying to take advantage of me. I'm so vocal, I bring it out, I don't let you bully me or do anything.